Jonathan Aggoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined by 8-1, 4 KOs Vlad Panin. Did want to touch on something I saw on your Instagram, pretty interesting. You've been sparring Logan Paul by the looks of things. How did that come about?
So I was sparring a few months back, and Logan's trainer was there, and he came up to my coach and I after we got out of the ring, and he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to spar Logan Paul? We need someone that looks like Floyd." And this is when the rumors had just started coming about, and I was like, "Wait, what? Like, they're actually fighting? Is this real?" And he was like, "Yeah, Floyd's gonna come in at this way, Logan's gonna come down. These are the stipulations or whatever." And I was like, "Wow, I can't believe that's real." So then when it got announced later, like a month or two after that, they asked if I could come in, and I started working with him, and just helping him out, and just giving him that shoulder roll look, and just similar styles to what he's going to see.
I mean, it's taken a lot of people by surprise that this exhibition's happening, that Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul next month. Talk to us a bit about what it was like sparring Logan. How good was he from what you've seen in the ring with him? What was it like?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was kind of surprised. I mean, he's got a good jab. He could box from a distance. He's got good control of range, and he's got good natural instincts. In terms of like his eyes, like he's able to like see shots and pull away from him and slip him and stuff like that. Yeah, and he throws his jab from different places. So he's I could tell he's learning like these little like veteran tricks and stuff. So I actually think it's going to be an interesting fight. I don't think Floyd stops him. It's only a 6-round fight. So yeah, I think it would be pretty interesting.
How many rounds? Sorry, Karen.
Because Logan's so much bigger. Logan makes me look tiny, and I'm 6 feet tall. And Logan's like 6'3", like definitely over 200 pounds. I mean, when he hits you, you're still getting hit by like a heavyweight, like a technical heavyweight, So he's a naturally strong guy. He wrestled in high school. He got good athletic ability, good natural instincts, and Floyd's a little bit up in age now. He's 43, and I know a lot of people are overlooking this, but these are all things that you have to take into account. The age difference, the size difference, the reach, the length, all that, and the youth. So all those things, and the fact that the fight's only 6 rounds. It's not like you have 12 rounds to break your guy down. You only have 6 rounds.
How many rounds did you spar with him?
Total or like per day?
Total, yeah.
Maybe like 15, 20.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely did like several sessions. So yeah.
What's he said to you regarding this Floyd Mayweather exhibition? Has he said anything, his mentality for it, or how he's feeling going into this?
I mean, he's definitely going in there to win. He's confident. He knows he's the younger, bigger guy. And he, I'm sure he knows that Floyd's just going to overlook him. He's just going to say, this guy's a YouTuber, he's not going to beat me on Floyd, and Floyd said he didn't even really train for the McGregor fight. So if he didn't train, if he wasn't like in a full camp sparring for the McGregor fight, then I don't think he's going to take Logan that seriously. I mean, I'm sure he always stays in good shape, Floyd's always kind of secretly in the gym, and I grew up in Vegas, so I've been to his camps, I've seen him work, and he's got a great work ethic. So but I think if he overlooks Logan, then it could be interesting, to say the least.
Do you know what weight it's going to be at?
Um, I know Logan's definitely coming down, and Floyd's gonna come in at maybe like 160 or something.
Okay, interesting. Just a couple more before we finish up, Vlad. You mentioned sort of being in around Vegas and the gyms and stuff. Which
Mhm.
guys can you tell us who you've maybe sparred in the past where you've learned stuff off heading into sort of your pro career?
Um, well, honestly, I feel like I've gotten better work out here in LA than in Vegas. I mean, I'm trying to think in Vegas, who did I spar? Um, Whenever I go back, I hit up Floyd's gym and a couple other gyms, but the majority of my work, all of like my best work has been here. I mean, here, um, I actually just sparred Ryan Garcia before his last fight.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, I sparred him. He looked really sharp, so I wasn't surprised by it. I knew Luke would give him trouble, but just I knew like Ryan was locked in, and like I could tell like when you're in that mindset before a fight, like you're just like boom, like laser focus. Um, so I sparred Ryan. Yesterday I just sparred Joseph Diaz.
Yeah,
Um,
world champion. Yeah,
he's defending his belt soon on February 13th. Um, Apart from that, this guy Serhii Boachuk, I don't know if people have heard of him yet, but he's this 154 pounder and he's 18-0, 18 knockouts, and that guy's a beast. Um, Real strong guy, and he's gonna be a champion at junior middleweight for sure. I could see him fighting like Charlo or one of the champions in a year or so. Um, and then a guy that um, he was gonna fight Brandon Adams, Ray Beltran, Chris Van Heerden, um, Ivan Redcatch. I mean, a lot of pros. A lot of pretty much everyone I spar is like top 10, top 20 in the
yeah.
world. So um, just being in the ring with all those types of guys day in and day out, it has really helped me develop. And, I have to stay sharp because if I don't, these guys are going to come after me. So I always have to be on my A game. And it pushes me to, reach new levels. So I think, as long as I can stay active and stay busy, this year is going to be a real big year for me. So, hopefully once things open up and there's more shows and, I can start showcasing my skills.
Hmm. Just on that Ryan Garcia sparring, we obviously saw him, as you mentioned, knock out Luke
Mhm.
Campbell, climbed off the canvas.
Uh-huh.
What did you make of his performance, especially when he got dropped and then he seemed to recover like that, just instantaneously?
Yeah. Well, Luke was setting up that overhand, that left hook with the body shot, and I could see him setting it up because he kept throwing it down low. He kept throwing it down low, and then he dropped, and then he came over the top, and Ryan was pulling away, and Ryan's really fast, and he's got really good timing. He's sharp, but I think when you always have like a speed advantage, you kind of get away with some things, you know. So at the higher level, um, whatever flaws you have, like, because sometimes you might have flaws, but guys just don't have the tools to be able to, capitalize on them. So Luke had more tools, because he's a very high level guy. I mean, arguably you could say that his only loss before the Ryan fight was to Lomachenko. I thought he beat Linares. I thought that was a great performance. A lot of people don't give Luke Campbell enough credit. I mean, especially over here in the U.S. And I knew that was going to be like a tough fight for Ryan. But yeah, Ryan handled it himself well. He got up and he made the adjustment and he came forward and he did what he had to do.
He's obviously mandatory for Devin Haney now, but it's clear to see that he wants to fight Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
What do you think of that fight?
Oh man. Tank. I've known about Tank since before he even got signed to Floyd because Floyd's last camp before he fought McGregor, his camp for Andre Berto, that was 2015. So that was already like almost 6 years ago. I remember Tank was there, and Tank was young, and I think he was only like 10-0, 9 knockouts, or like 11-0 with 10 knockouts at the time. And when Floyd trains, he's the only one training, and then his sparring partners are like off to the side, like hitting the bags. But Tank had his wraps on, and he was warming up, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Like, doesn't he know Floyd's training or whatever? And he was like, "Tank, gear up, hop in the gym or hop in the ring." And the first time I saw him, he was sparring Gamboa, and this is when Gamboa was still like at the top, And like, I just remember seeing Tank and being like, damn, like, this kid is nice. Like, he's probably the best I've seen in person other than Floyd,
Wow.
Like I would watch Floyd spar all the time, and like Floyd would just be perfect. I mean, there would be days where he wouldn't even get hit once, and the gym would just be dead silent. It's like you're watching a master class. But then watching Tank, it was like almost like the same thing, except he was like more exciting, more explosive, and he was like stopping everyone in the gym, so like he hits different. Like, you could tell when he hits guys, like it's speed, it's sharp, but it's also like he's got weight behind it, So I think him and Ryan, that's an interesting fight. Ryan's got some length and some reach advantage. So he could have success if he just stays on the outside and uses his straight shots. But when Tank because Tank knows how to close the gap, and when Tank gets in close, but Tank's gonna have to close that gap, and Ryan is a good counter puncher, and his left hook is his money shot. So I mean, either guy could spark the other guy, but I think right now you just have to give the experience advantage to Tank. I think he's been a champion for some time now, but Ryan's definitely growing, and I think he does deserve more credit, because a lot of people would just see him and they're like, oh, he's just like an Instagrammer or an influencer or whatever, but he does have a lot of skill, and he's very sharp. And also, I think just being in the gym with Canelo, like, day in and day out for the past 3 years, like, you're gonna learn a lot of stuff from the best boxer in the world,
Yeah.
So I think just having a guy like Canelo in his ear all the time, and just being able to get in his mindset and stuff like that has really helped Ryan develop, and he's got a big future, and so does Tank, so when they clash, it's going to be nothing but fireworks. I would love to see that fight happen.
Have you jumped in with Floyd or Tank in the gym for sparring?
Huh?
Have you jumped in with him for sparring at all?
No, I kind of came around like at the end of Floyd's
career,
at the end of his career. If it would have been like a year or two later, like, I would have loved to jump in with him, but at the time, like, I don't think I was ready, because Floyd was still a killer, It's like he wasn't really getting knockouts in his fights, but like in the gym, like, he was still a dog, and I think when he fought, it was more so like he just wanted to preserve his hands and not get injured, but when he was sparring, he was putting guys out, he was stopping a lot of guys. And Tank is a smaller guy, and I never got to spar him too, but you never know, maybe in the future. I'm open to, get working with anybody.
Yeah, sounds like you've had some good sparring so far, and it's paying off in the pro game.
Yeah.
So, we look forward to seeing how 2021 goes for you, Vlad. Appreciate you talking to myself and pro boxing fans.